Hello and welcome to today's League of Legends Roundup for July 14th, where we cover the news in the last day of League of Legends, in League of Legends, whether it be teams making moves, games that were played, and a preview of tomorrow's games. As well, later today I will have my League of Legends power rankings out. Yesterday I did my minor region power rankings, so that includes LCO, PCS, VCS, TCL, LJL, Latin America, and Brazil. I think I got all 7 that time. So that came out yesterday. The top teams from that are going to end up probably in today's video as well, within the top 25 of everybody. But that video will come out. So, news. LNG yesterday had made a move bringing up Panda C for top lane. It remains to be seen if him or Ala are playing tomorrow. I did not check LPL Fan Club before this, but lately I have been putting these out before LPL Fan Club is, putting out who the starting lineups are. So LNG ended up calling up LP, a bot laner. I do not feel like they are. I don't feel like Light's a problem. I mean, I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I think it is more of a fact that the jungle and mid duo are not doing what they're supposed to do. They're inting, whether it be with picks. Doomby's got to stop picking Gragas mid. Once it was fine, throw it in there every once in a while, okay, but you can't play both back-to-back games with it. Tarzan's building weird. He's picking weird, picking champs in the wrong spots. Those two are the two players that need to do better, and it isn't on Ale and Light to bring this. That's not the reason this team is supposed to be good. Now, LP, 245 KDA, 973 CS per minute in the LDL. A below 20% kill share, which is pretty shocking for an AD carry. That is really, really low. I didn't look deeper into why that might be, but it's pretty bad. 24% gold share, 3 champions in 8 games played. Light, over 5 KDA with the big club in the LPL, 921 KD CS per minute. I believe 1 cent a game. 72 KP, 35 kill share. Now 35 kill share, that is more like it. Under 20% is shockingly low for LP. 8 champions in 27 games. It's not like that's the problem. I can't say it enough. So, LCK, games of the day. KT and DRX. KT would upset DRX. DRX 11th in my power rankings. Obviously, that will change tomorrow. When the next time DRX plays, I will not be 11th. So, losing to KT 2-1. Aiming was the star, going 16-2 and 14. In the 2 wins in Game 2 and Game 3, he did not die. 39% of the team's kills. 39% of the team's damage, averaging over 880 damage per minute. Rascal went 7, 6, and 23 in top lane with 79% KP for the team, which I think led the team, or actually, was tied with Aiming. Both of them have 30 KP. Deft, leader for DRX, going 8, 5, and 15, 74% KP. Damwon versus KDF. This was a 2-0. Very clean, dominant win out of Damwon. This will boost them in my power rankings for sure. Sorry, I'm trying to straighten out this board. Certainly will, propel them. Very clean. I think 24-5 were the kills in the end. Showmaker 4-0 and 13 with 37% of the team's damage. Duckdom 11-0 and 4 with just slightly under half the team's kills. LM went 3, 4, and 0 for KDF. The only player that even had a scoreline even that good, or that below average, I guess. Everyone else did awful. Keenan went like 0-7 and 2 or something. It was bad. LPL, Anyone's Legend versus Thunder Talk. This would go 3 games. 2 teams in my power rankings. Remains to be seen if Thunder Talk will remain there. However, like I said, goes 2-1. Zhao House 17, 4, and 21. A very good 2 games on the Lee Sin in games 2 and 3. In a losing effort in game 2, he had like 10 kills and a loss. 83% KP. ZDZ 7, 6, and 19 had 26% of the team's damage. both players would end up on Stars of the Day, by the way. I think it's just easier to do it this way with Stars of the Day. I realized it now. So Zhao Hao and ZDZ, Stars of the Day, best top laner, best jungle duo in the LPL. LCK, everybody was Dom 1 except for Aiming. I thought Aiming played better than Duck Dom. Duck Dom may have went 11-0-4, but his damage was like 19% because he, didn't deal a lot of damage. It was the Showmaker show. So, Aiming ends up getting that. So, UCal 6-4-15 for Thundertalk, 27% of the team's damage. Tried his best, but could not get it done. I went over him in my sneak peek yesterday. I thought that Forge versus UCal would be a matchup to watch, and it was. They gave Forge Swain in Game 3, which was a massive mistake. Series 2, Victory 5 and IG. V5 are first in the power rankings at 8-0 versus a 1-7 squad in IG. Victory 5 obviously win 2-0 pretty easily. Fodic going 13-2-16 in 2 games. They gave him a Senna in Game 1. What a massive mistake. 36% of the team's damage. PP God went 2-1-29 at support, getting KP of 91%. Both of them end up being Stars of the Day, as well as Rookie. Rookie, I don't think died at all, or maybe died once in this series. Did a great, put on a great show, but weren't quite as impactful as Fodic and PP God. June, 6-6-2, led the way for IG. I think he had all 6 of his kills in Game 1. They gave over his Nidalee, which is his one trick, and he did put a scare in them in the early game. However, V5 were able to overcome that and win handily. June had 67% of the team's kills. So that would indicate only 9 kills total for IG in this one. So that's that for the games of the day. Now on to the sneak peek. Okay, for the sneak peek today, you see we got a lot more on here. LEC returns tomorrow, so the LEC games are on here. I'm determining now that what I'll do, so tomorrow's roundup is going to come out way later than today's is. Today's roundup came out when the games are done. I'm going to do the roundup when the games are done for the day, which means that the roundup will be out, well, for Fridays. It'll be Saturdays. It's not going to be. I'm going to put the LCS games from Saturday night on Sunday's roundup. I'll go over them first because those were the first games, and then lead into the LCK and LPL games. But that's how I'll do it. So we'll just say between the LEC and LCS is the cutoff for the roundup, and then the games after that. So the LCS games end up on the next day's roundup. So that's what's going to happen. LCK and LPL. LCK, Fredit Brion and Nongshim, Red Force, both teams stink. They are not good. Nongshim are playing roulette with their lineup. I believe they're going with a new jungler and a new support, if I recall correctly. Fredit Brion, we don't know who's going to play. Last time Fredit Brion played, they lost to T1 2-0. Sandbox lost to Nongshim 2-0. They played Week 7, Day 4 of Spring. Fredit Brion coming out ahead 2-1. Lava going 12-7 and 23. I know for a fact, well, that's actually not true. Why would I say for a fact? I don't know anybody with these teams. I am going to assume that Lava and BDD are safe, and that is the matchup we'll watch. With Fredit Brion, we don't know who's playing in any role except support and mid lane, and because we don't know who's playing in support for Nongshim, really, this is what ends up being. Now, Sandbox versus HLE. Sandbox 17th in the power rankings, coming off of a 2-0 loss to Gen G. HLE 1-8, coming off of a 2-1 loss to T1. They played Week 4, Day 2 of this split. Yes, the first round robin is over after this series for the LCK. So now when we look back at the last matchup, it will be from this split. So, a week ago, Sandbox beat HLE 2-1. Prince went 17-4-18 in that series. However, looking at the matchups, Dove and Dudu were probably the most contested matchup in that series. So we're going to look at that and see how that plays out after just a week they played each other last week, so did anything change or not? Obviously, I'm not going to put Prince there because Chioni at least played for HLE last series. I don't know if Chioni's going to play again. I assume so because Samdi got sent down, but you never can be too sure. LPL, we have another lopsided game tomorrow. Team We versus JDG. JDG third in my power rankings right now. Don't know what they'll be by the end of the day. So that, I mean, feasibly, that will be different tomorrow. Team We have been making a lot of moves the last day. They brought up View and Kadaya. We'll see if they play. They played RNG in their last matchup, losing 2-1. JDG beat Rare Atom 2-1. Week 4, day 1 was the last time they played in spring. JDG going 2-0. Kanavi 16-1-13 on 2 Viego games. I believe he had 11 kills in game 2. I'm watching Bubu versus 369 because Bubu is the only player I can say is probably playing for Team We today or tomorrow, depending on where you live. We don't know if it's View or Bashang. We don't know if it's Shanks or Xie. We don't know SMLZ or Zing. We don't know Kadaya or Heal for Team We. They are in shambles. RNG versus LNG. This is the matchup of the day in the East. LNG, we don't know who's playing in top and 80 carry, but RNG are 5-2, LNG 5-4, both in the top 16. RNG beat Team We 2-1, like I said. LNG coming off of a 2-0 loss to FPX. They played week 5, day 7 of spring. RNG going 2-1. Yahoo 8-6-16 in that series. Yahoo and Doumbé is what I want to watch. Those two players are very similar in how they want to affect the Rift. Let's see how they move around and make things happen. Listening to Doumbé talk today, I guess there's a stream clip or something of him saying, you know, the fans have a low expectation of them and a low standard for them, lower than what the team has for themselves. And I hope that he he sees that he's playing below his standard and shows up in this one, because like I said, I believe that he and Tarzan are the two players that are really inting it for LNG right now. LEC coming back. I don't know if 12.12 will be for them or 12.13. 12.13 just came out yesterday, but I don't know because they're coming off of a break. If they are on 12.13, expect there to be a video going over patch 12.13 when these games are being played, that I'm just going to push out. I have all the research done. I mean, I would like to add a little bit more research to it based on these games played, but if they're moving on to 12.13, then I don't need to do the research. XL versus Astralis. XL 8th in the power rankings right this second, 5-2. Astralis 3-4. XL beat BDS the last time they were on the Rift. Astralis lost to Vitality. Week 6, day 2 is the last time they played in spring. XL winning. Finn going 7-1-2 on Gwen in that matchup. I'm interested to see Patrick and Kabe, both players playing much better this split than they did in spring, really being the key contributors for their team. Honestly, Mickey X versus Jonghoon will be interesting as well. If Jonghoon pulls out a Pyke, I mean, he's been a lot better than I expected as well. I mean, the guy had no stats from spring and ended up showing up well, especially after playing on a bad Fred Brion Challengers team last year. BDS versus Mad Lions. BDS 1-6, Mad Lions 4-3, Mad Lions 22nd in the power rankings. BDS lost to XL, like I said, and Mad Lions were upset by Misfits. Week 8, day 3 in spring was the last time they played. Elyoya went 10-1-15 in that game. I'm interested to see Urdate versus Kaiser. BDS, despite their struggles, which they continue to have the same issues, they play very well in the early game, but the mid game they lose. They just lose. They're more often than not they are ahead at 15 minutes and then find a way to lose the game. Syncroft does a great job getting them ahead. Very underrated jungler in my opinion. And Urdate and even X-Matty to a lesser degree, but I'm more Urdate, they get 2v2 kills more often than not in these games. Like their 2v2 in the early laning phase is pretty damn scary. And I'm interested to see how Kaiser handles it. Kaiser, a support that I believe is a lot better than what people give him credit for. Misfits versus Fnatic. Misfits 3-4. Fnatic 5-2 and 15th in the power rankings. Misfits, like I said, beat Mad Lions. Fnatic beat G2. Week 8, day 2 was the last time they played. Misfits coming out ahead in a game that they should not have won. Neon going 7, 6, and 5. Neon versus Upset is what I want to watch. I mean, Misfits shouldn't have won that game. So, right now, Neon's played pretty well for Misfits. Vathio finally was able to perform in their last game. But I wrote down Vathio for literally like the first 6 games of the split, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I mean, not anymore, but at least for this one. We'll see how the bot lane does. SK versus G2. SK 1 and 6. G2 4 and 3. 9th in my power rankings. Rogue beat SK the last time SK was on the Rift, and like I said, G2 lost to Fnatic. Week 6, day 1 was last time they played. SK upsetting G2. Jezu 10, 0, and 7 in that one. I'm assuming Jezu will be back tomorrow. He has not been playing. I believe Gadget's been playing in his place. I believe it was with SK and not Misfits. I could be wrong, honestly, or it could have been BDS. God almighty, I don't remember who Gadget was playing for. I'm pretty sure it was SK. So, I'm interested in Treats and Targamas. I think SK Gen X is good, but I'm more interested to see how Treats and Targamas play. Treats is a support that, I believe is also underrated, but at the same time, he is in a hell space of a team. So, see how they do, I guess. Vitality versus Rogue, 4 and 3, 5 and 2, both not in the power rankings despite having a winning record. Rogue really struggled early on in the split, and that kind of has messed with my algorithm quite a bit. Astralis win. Vitality beat Astralis last time they were on the Rift. Rogue beat SK. Week 6, day 2 is the last time they played. Rogue coming out on top. Larson going 5, 0, and 11 on, I believe, a Rise. Perks versus Larson is what I want to see. Vitality, the only way they've been winning is through Perks, so they have to continue doing that. Alfari really hasn't been doing all that much, in my opinion. I believe he's maybe been MVP for 1 game this split. Haru really has kind of been, I don't think he's meant to really be anything more than a filler for the team, but even bot lane really has left a lot to be desired and on the table. So that's it for the sneak peek. That's it for the roundup. Stay tuned later today for the power rankings. Check down below, for the predictions for this, check down below. The Discord's in there. You can make the predictions on the Discord or below this video if you want. On that Discord, I also include all the prediction standings as well as extra content like the complete power rankings for all the teams and things like that. So if you want to go there, join. This morning we were talking about the LCK games as they were going on. KT and DRX having a great conversation. So come on by if you want to, and thank you for watching.